Coming up next on Bass Hunters, we have a really surprising film to check out. Stick around. Alright, hey there home theater fans and fellow bass heads. My name is Todd Anderson with the Home Theater Forum, avnirvana.com, and welcome to episode number 17 of Bass Hunters. And guess what we have on the platter tonight? It's Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and I am really pumped about this movie for a lot of reasons. First off, it is giving us access to reference quality bass, and not only that, it's demo-worthy bass. It's the best of both worlds, and it's coming to us in a family-friendly package. And that's totally unlike anything else that we've looked at on this show. Most things that we've looked at have had bodies blowing up and stuff flying around all over the place. Not the case with this movie. This is a movie that if you have family and friends in town or visiting, there's young ones involved, you can always get this one out and show off the low-end capabilities of your system. Not to mention, as we're going to dig into in just a few minutes, it looks really, really good also. So this one is definitely one to stick around for. I want to give a huge shout out to our founding partner, that is Kaleidescape. Someone asked me the other day, what's up with Kaleidescape? Why is it so good? Well, it's so good for so many reasons. I mean, it's giving me here in my home access to the best quality video and audio that's out there. This particular movie, you can see right there, it's a 53 gig file. That's probably very typical of what you're going to find on the disc. And this has a lossless Dolby Atmos track that comes with it. It just looks and sounds spectacular. And this is a movie that I downloaded and about 18 minutes, believe it or not. You get that full file onto your server in your home and you are off and running. And of course, I love being able to create script files, which are basically playlists that allow me to build my own playlist so I can go back and analyze these scenes for the show. So go check out Kaleidescape. I also want to give a big shout out to our new partners, Sutherland AV Marketing and Ascendo. That's right, the speaker manufacturer from over in Germany. Ascendo is up to some really awesome stuff. Right here, they have shipped in a 32-inch infrasonic subwoofer into my home. And Sutherland AV is the one that helped make that happen. They are the North American distribution arm of Ascendo. So if you're here in the United States and you want access to Ascendo speakers, or if you have any questions about what you can get here in the US, hit up Todd Sutherland over at Sutherland AV and he'll help you out. All right, so let's not waste any time and dive right into the business at hand. And you can see the scorecard right there. This movie, I'm giving high marks across the board. You can see there for the film itself, A-. I personally really enjoyed this movie. So much to like about it. It's funny. It's a nice, fast-paced story. And of course, as I said before, family friendly. You can see there for picture A, this one is total eye candy, 4K animation. Oh, it drips off the screen. So beautiful. Same with the Atmos audio track, giving this one a solid A on that also. And when it comes to bass, you can see right there, A+. Can we say A++? I think this one really rocked the scorecard big time, and deservedly so. It is that good. And it feels great to bring something like this to the table right on the heels of True Lies, which was just such a disappointment. It's been tough to cleanse the palate of that one, but here we have some really high quality reference demo worthy bass. And here you can check out the scenes that I created for a script file. Of course, if you're a Kaleidescape user and you'd like this exact script file, hit me up over at avnirvana.com. Right down in the description of this video, you'll find a link over to a thread on our forum that is just for this episode. You can ask me for it and I'll get it to you. Okay, so we have 9 different scenes that I analyzed for this episode of Bass Hunters, and you can see there the ones in pink are the ones that I selected. Now, how you read this, the BH1, that basically is Bass Hunters 1. That's the first script file. I gave it a little name, Town Party. The length of that clip is 3 minutes and 3 seconds, and the timestamp, if you have a disc and you'd like to follow along at home, you can see right there that this scene starts right around 5:29 into the movie. All right, let's move this up out of the way. So before we begin, let's just get a quick refresher on the spectrogram. Over here, this is where we have our frequency. Up here, super high frequencies, and down here, this is our bass region. You can see some numbers here. That is hertz, so we have 17.5 hertz. This line is 20 hertz, 30 hertz, 40 hertz, 50 hertz, just climbing the ladder right there. Over here, we have intensity. The more red it is, you can think of this as a heat map, the higher decibels, the hotter the sound, the louder the sound. And then across the bottom here, this is time. You can see we have a 20-second snapshot. So right there is 20. All the way down here is 0. Now, what's happening up here is actually represented right here. So the entire screen scrolls in that direction. Okay, so let's dive into our very first scene. This one's taking place right at the 5:29 mark. It's about 3 minutes long. I'm going to play this double speed because of digital rights, just to make sure we're not going to get flagged by YouTube. But check it out, then we'll dissect. Okay, so let's rewind to the beginning of that scene and check out a couple of really cool things. So first off, we have fireworks going off. And if you look right down in this region, that is matching with what we're seeing right up on the screen. And this is what I was talking about when I said there's variation in the bass. You can see right there, these fireworks are far away from this giant creature that is being awoken. And you can see they're represented just so well. They're subtle. So this yellow right here, these are hitting in the high 80 to mid 90 dB range. So definitely you're hearing them, but the way they're portrayed, this transient manner, there's pop, pop, pop all through there. It gives this sense of distance to the scene. And then you can see he's putting his hand down, boom, right there. We get nice bass all the way down right through there into the infrasonics, a very powerful moment that really brings the low end nature of the film back to the forefront, because you're standing with this guy right here as he's getting up and he is not happy. And this right here is where the big tree guy is ripping the roof right off the party. And this, folks, is thunderous room shaking bass right there. And let's move ahead right here. We get the Spanish splinter right there. Boom. And he's not happy about that, shakes him off, and then check out the bass that's associated with Puss flying through these walls here. Boom, boom, boom. Very hot transients. They hit super hard. They're fast. This is exactly why you want a subwoofer that can handle these super hot and intense moments in a transient nature. If this was flabby bass, just would not have the same impact as he is blowing through there. So loose bass bad, tight bass good. And then we move on to the big grand finale where Puss brings this guy down to the ground, and we're going to get there eventually. Here we go. We can see that strike. Bam! Boy, that is a mess of bass, and I love it. Totally fantastic. And once again, you can see they do a phenomenal job up close. Boom, super hard hitting. And as they bring the camera right back in there, again, you're getting that closeness, that feeling that you're right there in the scene. That, folks, is reference quality bass. And of course, all of that bass is cocooned by just a wonderful soundstage of music and chatter and all the things that are going on with the party and the fight. It is an audio feast for the ears. Just a wonderful way to kick off this movie. All right, so let's dive into the next scene. This is Bass Hunters 5. Takes place about 54 minutes into the movie. Let's give it a quick watch, and then we'll talk.
I've got a plan. First one to the dog gets the wish.
What? Oh, come on! Steady. What? So that's what they do. Cool. No, not cool. Oh, you stopped me. Ah, the sight's off. I got him, Mr. Horner.
Thanks for the nuts, of course. So long, you blunkers. Voy a hacer a todos alfombras de baño. Puss, where are you?
Okay, super fun scene. And the reason why I picked this one is it has a little bit of everything. Talked about that dynamic use of bass. Well, let's see it right here. You see these unicorn shots are coming in. First explosion, ooh, a little bit of a pop. You can see the surprise on Puss's face there. That's kind of funny. Second shot right here. Boom, a little more intensity. Third shot. Okay, now we have a moment of drama. Puss has been captured. This guy's saying, I've got him. And of course, he gets nailed with a unicorn horn. And poof, now we have a huge explosion. I love the way this is set up. We have such diversity, but also as the scene's building, the intensity of the bass experience is building. Just a really, really wonderful moment. And then let's push forward. So all of this throughout here is his heartbeat as that kind of panic attack feeling is setting in. He sees death is there watching him. Boom, 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 boom. It's getting tougher and tougher for him to stick around. And let's see if I can just play this straight up here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I mean, just a phenomenal use of bass. When we're talking about reference quality bass, that's it right there, folks. I mean, not only does it sound good, you have these really tight pops of transients, but, you know, once again, as the scene is progressing, you're getting it a little bit hot and heavier as we go along until this final drop when he takes off. It's just really wonderful stuff. And then, of course, here at the end, we have ground exploding, things getting shot up in the air, and what do they give us? a whole mess of textured bass all throughout there. It's really matching with all of the chaos that's going on in the screen. This particular scene, I'm actually surprised that this isn't a little hotter right here on the spectrogram, because this particular scene really had my room shaking pretty hardcore. But super nice moment, and I really loved how they kind of taper it off here as dialogue is introduced, as these bears are kind of mocking everybody right there. Things are just kind of tapering off, and then we move on. Okay, so we've shown you the dynamic nature of this film, but if you're wondering, well, is there a moment where my house might collapse, my foundation may crack, my neighbors might think that a thunderstorm is rolling in? Yes, Puss in Boots has got you covered in that area too. This next scene, this is Base Hunter 6. It happens not too soon after our last one. This is right around the 1 hour 6, 1 hour 7 mark in the film. This one has got all the punch and rumble that you could possibly ever want. Now, this is not War of the Worlds heavy, but this is some pretty awesome bass. Check it out.
Forget something. Venga, perrito.
Don't worry, we can track it with this.
Wait, stop. Watch out.
Hey!
Okay, so let's zoom in on the spectrogram here. Look over on the left side, you can see the scale has changed. 80 hertz is now up here and 20 hertz is down here. So we can get a really good look at what's going on in the bass region. First thing I want to point out, you can see right here, as she sees the map and she's kind of mesmerized by it, there's this nice little bass drop that happens right down through here. And this is, let's see, that's right in like the 60 hertz range, and it bleeds down into the 40s right there. A nice little notable moment in the movie right before all bedlam and mayhem break out in the low end. And you can see, boy, oh boy, I mean, 30 hertz, 20 hertz, right down in through the infrasonics in this particular scene are all represented. It's hard hitting bass, lots of very tight, intense strikes throughout all of this madness right through there. This, folks, is a total room shaker. And then when this crystal structure blows through the ground, just look at the intensity right here compared to what's going on over here. I mean, it's sort of matching up there, but even more so. And wow, that is definitely an LFE moment right there. Wow. This, folks, is crazy. It's going to sound great if you have a good system. And what I love about each one of those scenes that we just looked at is they're indicative of exactly what you're going to find throughout this movie. I mean, you have that hard-hitting, gnarly bass that's just digging and crumbling and breaking your house down. Well, you just saw that. That's there. Then you have that hard-hitting transients. Boy, we saw that with that heartbeat, and just such a nuanced flavor that they give to some of those. It's just wonderful. Speaking of nuance, we also have bass that they really tamp down and they take up into the higher registries of the frequency range down there. We're talking into the 50, 60 hertz range. That's for stuff that's kind of off in the distance, and it feels like it's off in the distance. And then they juxtapose that with something that is just happening right in front of you, slamming down right in your face, and it's bringing it all into your room. I just love it. It's a fantastic audio design. And of course, it's matched up with just total eye candy and lots of other audio nuances that are going on that just sound great. They're just swirling around the room. This movie has it all. Look, if Puss in Boots is not on your radar, it should be. I know this is not a movie that's for everybody, but I think you should give it a shot. If not for the LFE, just for the fun of it all, it's a good one. Now, this brings us to what kind of system do you need to really enjoy this movie? Unfortunately, folks, the bad news is, especially for a family-friendly movie like Puss in Boots, boy, if you're just watching this on a TV or with a small soundbar and a wireless sub, you're going to be missing out on a lot of information. And for those of you out there who have smaller subs that maybe are in a large room and you're driving really hard, or if you just have smaller subs that you're trying to drive hard in a medium-sized room, you might get some port chuffing if they're ported. You might hear them bottom out a little bit. Hopefully they have some limiting software on them to keep them safe, because this is a hard driving movie. Not as hard hitting as Halloween, but this is a hard driving movie. So if you have those smaller subs, a smaller wireless sub along with your soundbar, yeah, you're definitely going to be missing out. Now, you folks out there that have a really healthy, vibrant subwoofer system, that sounds kind of corny, but you know what I mean. A subwoofer system that has enough muscle to take something like this on, you are going to be smiling ear to ear, just like I was when I was watching this movie with my family and then going back and analyzing the scenes. It is really fantastic stuff. Link right down in the description if you'd like to pick this disc up for your collection and you'd like to support our channel and our website. We'd really appreciate it. We hope to see you over on the forum at avnirvana.com. Come on over and let me know what you think about this film, and we can talk about bass. You can always find me on Twitter. I guess they're calling it X these days. My handle there is at avwoofer, and of course over on the forum, my username there is my name, that is Todd Anderson. Folks, we'll see you real soon.